Hey guys, this is the state of DeFi. Have you guys ever felt that you're watching something and you're watching something about crypto and you're already getting information that you've already received before? Or you already know this and you're frustrated. You're like, give me something different. Give me something I haven't heard. And that's why I created this channel. I've been watching YouTube and I haven't received anything that I just haven't heard before. I've been in the crypto space for a while, and I fell in love with it the first time I met it. You ever meet a girl first time and you know that's the one that you want to be with? And that's how I felt about Bitcoin. So this channel is basically providing you my thoughts and other people's thoughts of what the crypto space is and where we're going. Hopefully I can help you guys out. Please subscribe as my banner says. Please subscribe. Send me comments basically telling me how I can improve, give me feedbacks and stuff like that, because I'm going to continue doing this. So first thing I want to talk to you guys about is we got information that we're at 70%. We're at the bear markets right now. So what do we basically do during this time? The best thing to do is to do nothing. Sometimes doing nothing is the best thing to do. I mean, if the bear markets, it could go down to 80%. The best thing to do is to save up, take care of your family, if you have family, and save up. Save up during these bear markets, because during bear markets is probably the best chance of life-changing results. This is not financial advice, but that's basically what I'm doing. I'm saving up. Let's look at some news that we got. So we know that Bitcoin's at a 70% drop from its high at $68,000, right? If we look at the news, what we got? We got BTC, lower price shrinks, Bitcoin mining profits, hash rate remains unaffected. That's a good thing. While Bitcoin fiat value has dropped more than 70% below all-time high records in November 2021, the price reduction has made it so miners are making fewer profits depending on the device they operate. Despite miners' profits sliding, Bitcoin's hash rate has remained high, coasting along 180 exahash per second, and 3 days or more than 600 blocks away. Bitcoin's next difficulty adjustment is also estimated to increase by 0.3. Bitcoin mining revenues keeping getting smaller. So we understand the lower the price that Bitcoin is, the less amount of money that actually goes into the people that are actually mining, that's keeping the network secure. I'll skip a little bit. On June 18, 2022, BTC US dollar value briefly hits a 22 low of around 17,593 per unit and managed to climb back towards 19K to 21K per unit range. On May 27th, 2022, Bitcoin miners leveraging Bitmain Antminer Pro device with up to 110 terahash per second, paying 0.12 per kilowatt hours, could get around $4.63 per day. I mean, you can see the difference now in a bear market. Even staking, you're not going to get the same amount of money off of staking, off of mining, off of anything. Your profit margin goes much lower. That's the name of the game, you know. Crypto finance, crypto is uh, is a game that we play, just like stock market. And when things are crashing down, you're not getting the profits or the gains that you had before. It's just what it is. Next thing I want to show you guys is Facebook is rolling up NFTs. Give me a second, I'm struggle streaming. Let's check this thing out. All right, so Facebook is rolling up NFTs. They changed their name to Meta. This is one that I'm really watching. What they're going to be doing is they're going to be using the Ethereum network, also Polygon. This is something I'm going to be checking out when it comes to allocating funds. Let's go from the top. Facebook rolling out NFT testing for user profile. Facebook will provide a digital collectible button on producers' timeline to showcase their work, supporting non-fungible tokens. On Thursday, the manager of Meta Technical Program, Navdeep Singh, tweeted screenshots of the creator's page and NFTs. The same day, a representative from Meta, the corporation that owns Facebook, informed TechCrunch that the introduction of NFTs on Facebook will be slow and start with a small group of American producers. Creators will also be able to utilize these NFTs, and this is basically their test mode. Like I said before, they will be using Ethereum and Polygon NFTs. Following Facebook, Instagram expands NFT trials to international users. Instagram last week opened up its NFT testing to users outside of the United States. The program enables the display of NFTs created on Polygon and Ethereum, with plans to also support Solana and Flow NFTs. And this is pretty big. when we're talking about um, investing in what I'm going to be really focusing on: Polygon Network, Ethereum, Solana. I'm not too keen about Flow, but you guys may know something about it. I have never used Flow before. According to CEO Mark Zuckerberg, Meta said in May that it had started testing NFTs on Instagram and that Facebook will soon do the same. NFTs display capabilities would soon be applied to other Meta owned applications, including WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger, he continued. So, this is basically, this NFTs is something it's NFTs is something that's going to continue going on. It's not going anywhere. VV app also is allowing people to sell their NFTs, and uh, they're rolling out that they will be able to sell it and receive their funds in USD. And they're starting to do a slow process in that too. So NFTs is uh, really not going anywhere. Give me 1 second. I will. All right, fellas. All right. So that was pretty big. Let's move this out of the move that out of the way and stuff like that. Let's look at something else. Uh, Also, something that I did see. Back to Celsius. I want to hear about this. I've been kind of checking at other YouTubers and stuff like that, seeing, like I said, what is the state of DeFi? This is it's a platform trying to figure out what's going on. And in a bear market, there's always things breaking. So right now, we're going to listen to a content creator that is dealing with the Celsius debacle.
It's very emotionally challenging for me to make this video. All right, so it is going to be a rather impromptu video because I did not get to prepare scripts or content outline. So expect a lot of weird and awkward pauses, and my words might not be as polished, and expect a lot of grammatical errors as well. All right. What is up, everyone? Did Hao here, back with another Celsius update video. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you what has happened to Celsius lately, to sort of give you an update. And also, I'll be sharing with you my recent experience with Celsius Network because something that is unfortunate happened on me. I lost access to my phone due to water damage while I was outstation, and I couldn't get the 2FA done, and that's why I have to.
Is this? Does he have background music? God damn it! Does he have background music? Does he have background music while we're listening? Oh, wait a minute. Sorry about that, guys. I'll stop playing around.
To reset the 2FA. I'm going to share with you what has happened to me, and also I'm going to explain to you why am I assuming at this point of time my deposits or my cryptos with Celsius, I'll just assume that they are completely lost. All right, so if you're into it, let's move on. So for reference, today is 28th of June 2022, and on 11th of June, I made a video talking about the problems that Celsius network is facing, and the video title is Urgent Celsius Network Users Beware. And the following video, I explain the reason cryptocurrency crashed, and it is not only problems that are unique to Celsius, and I highly recommend you to watch these two videos to sort of understand what has happened to Celsius as well as the recent cryptocurrency market drop. So now, right now, I'll just briefly go through what has happened to Celsius, and just to let you know, at the point of recording this video, the CEL token is trading at 75 cents. And if we look at the 3 months chart right over here, it has been downtrending since beginning of the year because people started to lose, faith with Celsius, and that's why we see a very sharp decline starting May of this year. And then it went all the way down to like, I don't know, 20 over cents or 18 cents. And on the 20th and 21st of this month, we saw that Celsius has a really huge spike from the bottom of around like 18 cents. It went all the way up to somewhere around $1.50. This is what we call a short squeeze. To those who are familiar with what has happened to the GME stock, then you will know that this situation is more or less the same. It is a community-driven event, I would say, to push up the price of CEL token and make those short sellers lose money. Okay, so just a quick go through on what has happened to Celsius. On June 13, okay, Celsius released a memo to the community saying that due to extreme market conditions, they are announcing that Celsius is pausing all withdrawals, swaps, and transfers between accounts. And the rest are all the standard PR things, right? So they also mentioned that they will do a lot of things to at a customer's interest and things along those lines. And just to give you some context, what has happened ever since I posted this video, okay? Sort of like telling you guys that Celsius is in a huge problem. That video was posted on 11th, and on the 13th of the month, I was not able to make my withdrawals because I was still waiting for a few pending payments. And I was really unfortunate in that regard. A couple of my friends did manage to pull out the funds from Celsius before 13, and they are fine. So on 13, I was also on an outstation trip. So yeah, a lot of things had happened to me. That's why I say this is a really tough video to be made, and it's kind of like this entire incident. Okay, unfortunate things happened on me during an unfortunate season. All right, I had an outstation trip from 13 until 18, and during this week, okay, a lot of things happened towards Celsius. So on 13 itself, Celsius pauses withdrawals, and even until now, people still cannot have access to their funds. And on June 17, the CEO basically made a YouTube video, a very short YouTube video, saying that they are canceling the AMS sessions as company navigates very difficult challenges. So this is the sessions whereby customers and people can ask the CEO of Celsius any questions, because it's an AMA session and they are pausing these sessions. Well, it's very straightforward why they are doing so, because people will be asking in anger, okay, when we can get funds and things along those lines. They cancel it on the 17th of June. And on the 17th of June, guess what happened? My phone got a water damage and I couldn't access my phone. I lost access to my phone. I lost access to the authenticator apps, and I need to reset the 2FA. And let me tell you a little bit of my experience here dealing with Celsius Networks team. So
let's talk about easy, like fee-free easy and no minimums easy. Plus,
Oh, sure.
interest easy.
We got commercial or something?
On 18th of June, this is what they have sent me. This is the first email that they sent me. Hello, Jin. Thank you for connecting with Celsius Customer Care. We are excited to have you as a member of our community. Our customers have the option of using a 2FF for next level account security, and we will be sure this is taken care of with the utmost importance. So the rest would be the instructions to sort of like the documents, that things that I have to do, I have to send them. So basically just like holding an ID, write few words and say that I have to verbally, okay, say it out and request for the 2FA deactivation. So, and not too long after that, there is another customer care. You can see that this is like after 8 hours, okay? And this customer, a person actually replying me, and yada yada yada. And then you can see that to keep your Celsius account safe in case of any suspicious activity, the security department activates the HODL mode until we complete an identity verification to ensure that you are the one accessing your account. So they have turned on the mode that I really don't like. Okay, I've mentioned in the past videos that one of the things that make them buy times from their customers. So, and basically these are the things, the instruction, things like that. Please confirm Samsung Galaxy S22 5G device usage on 17th of June, because that's the new phone that I have gotten myself when I was outstation. And basically I completed the entire verification process. I did it twice because the first attempt, as that was my mistake, I made the video, okay, show my identity and things like that, and I missed some information to be spoken inside that video. So that was my mistake, but I complete the entire verification process. And the last email that they sent me was on June 21st. You can see right over here, customer care expert. I believe that this is no longer the same person replying me. So, hi Jin, thank you for the video. We will reach out to you as soon as our security team reviews it. And until today, I did not get any reply from them. I still cannot log in to my Celsius account. And just to show you what do they mention in their email when they are giving the instruction for me to follow. Important. Kindly note that the change will only take place 3 business days after the request has been approved. So again, the last email that sent me was on 21st of June. And today, as making this video, it is 28th of June.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Whew. Man, with that, that's actually pretty emotional. Just listening to him. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty emotional. And it even got even emotional with the back screen music that he had also. Situation is Celsius is in a difficult situation. They're thinking about bankruptcies. They're thinking of different ways of dealing with their financial issues, with them loaning either crypto or they're a lending platform. So what ends up happening with lending platforms, you give them crypto and they allow you to lend USDT. So you use your crypto as collateral, and there's a yielding process with that. And their yielding process was not probably, it was pretty high. You would get either 8%, 6%, or some sort of percentage on that, which the way they were able to do it was by lending crypto to other DeFi products that gave them even more um, yielding, which now in the bear market, you're not yielding as much, and with the crypto being down, you're at risk of being margin called. So you also have liquidity issues with Celsius as well. So this guy, he has two situations happening. First of all, so his first issue is, one, Celsius is not allowing him to withdraw his assets. He had some fears, some thoughts of removing it, but he didn't. His friends removed their assets out of Celsius, but he didn't. Secondly, his phone got damaged, so the 2FA validation and stuff like that, it does not work. Good thing to utilize is if you have two phones, having the two phones have the I think they use Google Authenticator. So it'd be a good idea to have two phones having those type of authenticators. It's getting to that point. Well, I think the Celsius's process is the same thing as most exchange processes. It would be the same process of Coinbase. I had a situation where I wasn't even able to get into the Coinbase platform. It was for other reasons. They needed authentication if it was me and stuff like that. I had access to it, but I couldn't purchase or withdraw any assets or anything like that without showing them a driver's license, an ID. I was overseas, so my driver's license expired, and they weren't going to utilize. They weren't allowing that. So let's see. What do we got next in our docket? So, like I said, the state of DeFi is all about giving you information that you don't regularly hear from other YouTubers. Next in the docket is US reaction since 2008. And this is basically the dates that we printed money. So YouTube clip.
From 2008, you can see how they were able to manage all of this, and you can see the nice smooth line going into 2008, and that's when they started doing quantitative easing
because of the crisis.
because of the financial crisis.
But the weird thing is, at the time, that felt like a global financial crisis.
And it was.
Yeah, and it was.
Yeah.
But the increase in the base, what's that about 1.2 trillion dollars?
Yeah, you can see the move in 2008 and how big of a deal that was, and then you can see how aggressive it has become since.
Yeah.
Like the response on COVID, they have doubled that response just through more QE that's been happening, and I don't even think people realize that they have continued to do that insertion of this monetary base.
Right. So people are listening. Prior to the 2008 crisis, that looks about 900 billion on the Fed balance sheet, and it looks like it goes up to about
You've 10x.
Yeah. To about 1.4 trillion.
Yeah.
And then from 2009 to about 2018, it's gone up to 4 trillion, and then in the space of a year, it's gone up to 8.9 trillion.
The reason I put this slide in there was to show people, so this is what happened in the United States. But I think if you go to the next slide, I haven't looked at these in a
Hold on, just a question on this. Go back to a second. Like, from your analysis of this, it felt like everything that happened in 2008, they had to do, it was kind of responsible, and they were able to protect the global economy from complete collapse. They were able to rescue, like in the UK, they were able to rescue Royal Bank of Scotland and Lloyd's, and over here it was Fannie Mac, is that it?
Yeah.
And was it, there was a few that were able to be rescued. Bear Stearns, able to be rescued, and that seems like a sensible plan. They rescued the economy.
I don't know if I would use the word sensible. I would say it was, they had to do it.
Yeah.
If you were in the seat, if I was in the seat, if Danny was in the seat, anybody was in the seat, they would have had to have done something similar. Now, whether they chose the magnitude that was, like, the magnitude of that reaction was a mathematical decision. I would like to think that they're saying, hey, we had this much liquidity, explode, impaired, and so therefore we need this much of a response. They inserted into the market, and each one of these jumps are mathematical decisions that they're having to make and estimate, like, the credit was impaired this many trillions now, and this is how much we have to respond with. So
what happened apart from it being Donald Trump? What actually happened under that administration? Because there's another big jump from 2012 essentially to 2015.
So over in Europe, you had a major crisis in that time frame, and there was a big response that also happened.
Okay, and then sorry, Danny, and then just looking what happened over COVID, there's an increase from 4 trillion to essentially 9 trillion. Have you actually looked at what, like, could it have been a 3 trillion or 2 trillion? Like, has it been massively irresponsible, or as the increase in the balance sheet essentially with things that they would have to do selling that seed?
I don't know the answer to that, Pete. I think that I think they have no idea what the right answer for any of this is. I think they just know they have to put more fiat units into the system to keep social unrest from brewing more. And
do you think the decision making is based on that, or do you think it's politically based to try and retain power? It's like they do want to, like, it's not popular to allow things to unwind. It's not popular to not give people stimulus checks. It's not like, I
think it's just the desire for stability.
Right. Okay.
Right. If you're playing the game, if you're playing the Monopoly game and you're crushing the three of us, right? The last thing you want is for us to stand up and say, we're not playing this game anymore.
Throw the board off the table.
That's right. You've got.
All right. Throw the board off the table, Yeah, so that basically tells us, right, that QE's been going on for longer than we actually know. If you go to Fed Reserve Board, you can see it right here. Fed Reserve Board, and you check it out for 20. Actually, we can look at it now. We're around 9. Shoot. You can see how much they inflated, how much QE they put in. Shoot. And from that interview, they were talking about 2019, where I guess Europe had a situation where they needed to do a little bit more QE. And 2020, around Feb 24, we all know this is COVID. This is why we jumped up here. And it seems like we had stopped around February of doing QE. 2012, 2013, it seems like they did another QE. Right here, 2008 had to be the housing market, which they spoke about. Where we had to bail out banks and stuff like that. I think this graph is pretty important to when you want to invest and stuff like that, because this is basically, if you're gonna play the game, you gotta know the game. You gotta know all the parts in the game. And the state of DeFi is, yes, it's about decentralized finance, but decentralized finance has to do with the overall global economy. So having this type of information is pretty much key to know what's going to happen. It seemed for a couple years that from 2014, 2015, it looks like we didn't do QE for a little while. And it looks like we're about to level off. So we may have a couple of years where the Fed's not inflating anything. Seems like we're going to be heading to recession. It looks like the stock markets are down. I believe they're going to go further down. The reason why I think they're going to go further down is because of the Fed meeting in July. So the Fed's going to meet again in July. I'm going to show you guys this so you can see what I'm looking at. Fed is going to be meeting in July 26th, 27th. 26th to the 27th. They already met in June 14th and 15th. 15th, they decided that they were going to raise up interest rates. And July 26th, 27th, I believe they're going to raise up interest rates. They will try to tackle inflation. Inflation in the month of June actually rose up to 8.6, and they're trying to bring that down. They're going to also meet in September, November, and December. Interesting. All of this stuff is pretty interesting. So, let's see what CZ thinks about this interesting information. All right.
Where digital participation and the health of our environment can live side by side. Soon, Maker will be present on all chains and layer 2s, bringing the biggest and best DeFi
Future millionaire.
everywhere there is DeFi. So follow Maker on Twitter @MakerDAO and learn from the oldest and most resilient DAO in existence.
All right, guys, we are back with this special bonus podcast. I'm super excited about this one. We've got CZ
Me too,
on the
man.
podcast. He is the CEO of Binance, also the founder of Binance.
It's my boy, bro.
Crypto exchange.
Binance.
How you doing, my friend?
Woo.
Hey Ryan, David, thank you for having me on the show. It's great to be here.
Well, it's awesome to have you. I got to start with this question because we are in a bear market. This is all but confirmed. We've got Ether 80% off all-time high, Bitcoin off 70% plus. How are you guys holding up? How's Binance holding up during the bear market so far?
We're fine. We don't have any debts. We don't owe anybody any money. We're still profitable even today, and not that many people owe us money. We have pretty good debt control. So we're pretty good. And so as David said, this is not the first time we've been through this one of these things. And we even in the bull markets, we have always had the mentality that Bitcoin can go 80% down over a period of time, and it may last for months or years. So we're okay. Yeah.
What did you guys do differently? Because some crypto companies, I'd call them crypto banks maybe, are not faring so well. What was different about the positioning of Binance going into this?
I think fundamentally many companies, when we're in the bull market, many companies just sort of expected that the bull market will continue indefinitely. Markets don't do that. Market go bull, bear, just goes in cycles. So we understood that, and we just held a fairly large amount of cash reserves during the bull markets. And luckily also for us, our income comes into different cryptocurrencies. And stablecoin is one of those, stablecoins accounts to about 25% to 30% of our income. So we're relying heavily on that now. So yeah, I think overall we're just because we're in new industry, we are quite expectant of the cycles. So just having that mindset really helps, I think.
Yeah, certainly, and it's paying off very, very much right now in this bear market. As I alluded to in the intro, I think it's basically like Binance and FTX that are the well-capitalized players right now. And FTX is being pretty damn aggressive with kind of the fire sales that are going on right now. Like BlockFi is having a fire sale at a $25 million valuation, and FTX is trying to get in on that. I'm wondering what is Binance looking at? With all the having cash on hand is a very rare opportunity at this moment. What opportunities in the crypto markets are you really looking at?
Yeah, I think so. Basically, we're looking at all the same opportunities come to all of us. In fact, we look at all the opportunities. We probably have first picks on all of those opportunities. So we try to keep it. We try to respect the confidentiality clauses we have with our partners, so that we don't really disclose ongoing deals. So if there's a deal in discussion, we try not to disclose much of it. And even after it concludes, we still try to observe the confidentiality aspects of it. But the same deals that you see in the news that other people look at, they typically come to us first. So being the large, I think I'm pretty confident we have by far the largest cash reserve right now, and most of those, and so we do have first picks. But not all deals. Well, we like to save the industry as much as possible, but not all projects are worth saving. If the projects are badly run, badly designed, other problems that are hard to fix, then it's generally not good to put bad money after or good money after bad money, right? You don't want to bail out companies that are mismanaged. But we do want to help the majority companies to that have a little bit of a liquidity crunch to go through the cycle. And we're talking with 50 plus of them now.
Wow, 50 plus of them. I think like people are taking bets and who's going to bail out more of these crypto companies. Is it SBF or CZ? I guess that remains to be seen.
I think we both have to do our part. Whoever has cash right now should do their part. I think FTX is more US focused. Sam is in the US all the time, etc. So we're more globally distributed. There's a large number of deals in the US, and also during the last couple of years, there's a lot of lending protocols developed in the US. So quite a number of them are under liquidity crunch. So there's more deals happening in the US, but we're looking at that. But we're also looking at the world globally as well. But I think it's not us versus them. It's really like let's all do what we can.
All right, guys. We got a lot from this information. CZ's like I love listening to CZ. First, he's a humble guy. That's one thing, humble guy, but he has himself together. And like he said, he has been there and done that before. He's already had his situation before, and he has triumphantly went through it and got out of it the other way. You know what I mean? So a few things he brought up. His company has no debts. Love it. Love it. And I'm thinking of it as my thoughts are rolling as no financial advice, but for me, what am I buying into? CZ. I'm buying into CZ. If I'm buying Bitcoin, I'm buying into CZ. If I'm buying BNB, I'm buying into CZ. So, no debts. They don't owe anybody anything. And also, not a lot of people owe them money, which is good. He brought up that he's been there before. That's great information. He's been there, done that. This is CZ, OG, triple OG. Also, I believe, I don't know if I have the dates right, but I know he went all in on Bitcoin around 2016, 2015, made millions, made billions, created Binance, made even more money. So his story is well known. What I liked, what he brought up was markets have a cycle. He knows there is a bull market and there's a bear market. Everybody gets shocked, and it happens all the time. When we go into the bear market, everybody starts losing their hair. People say the same thing over and over. And I mean, even I got caught feeling the same way, like this is not going to end. I'm telling you, next 4 years, if the bull market hits again, we're going to have the same situation. People are going to be like, no, this is not going to end. This is a super cycle, but there needs to be bear markets. It needs to be a cycle. Because if something just continually goes up, it will hurt more people than you think if things continue going up. All right. They brought up about Binance and FTX. It looks like Binance and FTX are in their strongest position right now when it's talking about crypto companies. In the bull market, a lot of these other companies were purchasing things, stadiums, crypto.com did the huge payout of hundreds of millions of dollars to get their name on a stadium. And it looks like the big money, the big money, it held off so they could purchase stuff for cheap, man, which is crazy. How much would a stadium cost right now when everything's going down? CZ probably would have got it at this time. You're getting stuff at a discount. It's when markets crash, you're getting things at a discount. So this is the best time. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it. Cash on hand. A big thing he brought up was cash on hand. Have cash on hand. Whether you have to save up, just make sure you have cash on hand. Whether you saved up from January till now or you're saving up right now. I think the best strategy, learning it from an OG, is having cash on hand. So when you do see something on sale, press the button. Another thing that we got from CZ is he states that he has the largest cash reserved, which pretty incredible. You hear all these other companies having hard times, Coinbase, Celsius, Voyager, all these companies that's having liquidity issues and stuff like that. Not that Coinbase is having any liquidity issues, but Binance is definitely not having problems showing its muscle. So largest cash reserve, that's pretty big. And he also brought up that he's pretty strategic in picking projects. So he's not just picking projects just to pick them because they had liquidity issues, but they would have to be managed correctly and stuff like that. And he feels it's his duty to help them out if they were managed correctly, but just has some liquidity problems. And he likes the company. He basically said that he gets first dibs. Like they come to him first before they go to other people. So that's big. That's the top dog right there. And that is the state of DeFi. Do we have anything else? Oh yeah, let's check the markets. See where we're at. Let's refresh this. Get a better reading of where the market's at right now. Coin market. Check coin market. Yeah. market. So Bitcoin's at 19,242, 1,066 for Ethereum. Has gone down 14% over 14% over 7 days. Bitcoin 10% over 7 days. BNB. This is I have a stop loss. I have a limit for BNB. I want to see that go a little bit lower. Also Cardano, Solana, Polkadot, Polygon. Polygon has gone down almost 18% over a week, 7 days. Uniswap. Seeing if I can get this under $3. Polygon around 35 cents would be a good price for me. Oh, there's Flow. Let's check out I haven't actually, what is it? Whoa. Wow. This thing has gone up to $38, now at $1. Wow. That is huge. That is huge. Whew. Please call Daddy. Please call somebody to save me. All right. And I think we went over everything that I was planning on going over. And this has been pretty interesting. It's the state of DeFi. And I'm your host, and I'm out. Peace. Oh yeah, don't forget, if it's not your keys, it's not your what? Coins.